In this video, I'm going to go under the hood to show you how rhythm works and how you can actually create your own rhythms and use them in your performance pieces and improvisations at the piano, even if you feel like you can't keep a beat or if you don't have any rhythm. There's this thing piano players will do sometimes when they're reading music. The first time I noticed it was when I was a teenager. I had a job playing keyboard at a church, and the organist, God rest her soul, her name was Hazel, she had been playing and teaching in the community forever, and she always had her thick glasses on, and when she was playing, she'd be leaned forward, squinting at her music like she was trying to decipher the Rosetta Stone. And then I saw this behavior again in my early years as a teacher. Before I knew how to teach well, I'd see it in my students. They'd come to their lessons with these really hard pieces, and I don't know if they wanted to impress me or frustrate me, but if they were out of their depth, they'd squint and lean into the score, tracking the notes on the page like a hunter who hasn't eaten for days after an elusive prey, as if they were going to conquer that beast with will and determination. The thing is, it never worked. As soon as I saw eyes squinting, I knew the performance was going to fall apart before they even played a note. Whatever the musical problem is, staring harder is not going to be the solution. Why is that? It's not from lack of focus. It's from a lack of awareness of how to focus in music. Focusing intensely on one note at a time on the page works against good music making because music requires flow through time. And when our eyes become intensely focused, our listening goes out the window. If you watched the first two videos in this series, you know that music can be broken down into two parts, rhythm patterns and tonal patterns. And please bear with me, I've gotten feedback that I'm using too many technical terms, and I'll be addressing that soon with some shorts that will help you understand these terms and how it'll help you to know them. In the meantime, keep watching this video because the terms are a lot less important than the ideas and skills you're about to learn. In the first video, you learned the rhythm patterns to lightly row, and you learned to improvise by combining them in new ways using alternating hands and random keys, single notes, and clusters. In this video, we're going to expand on that so you'll know how rhythm patterns work and you'll create your own and use them to improvise. In order for this to make sense, you need to understand the fundamental principle that your music learning comes from within you. We can talk about 16th notes or dotted half notes all day, but if you're not understanding rhythm concepts through your own movement, they won't make sense. I just want to point this out because if you're in lessons now and there aren't any moving activities, you might just be spinning your wheels. You have to sing to understand pitch and tonal patterns, and you have to move to understand rhythm. And thankfully, you don't have to be at any base level of skill in singing or moving before you can start to grow as a musician. Here's what you can do to get traction with rhythm patterns. If you remember, lightly row starts with these rhythm patterns. Ba 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 ba. Please go back and review part 1 if you don't remember how the song goes. Now, a lot of teachers would try to teach you how to count that rhythm, but that's not where it's at. Counting comes after understanding, but movement enables understanding. And I don't mean clapping or stomping movements. Those things stop the flow of rhythm. Moving with flow is the foundation for rhythm skills. So if you've been told you can't keep a beat, or if you feel like you don't have rhythm, start by moving with flow. I'll leave a video in the end card to one of the best music teachers in the country demonstrating how to do that. When you're moving with flow, you don't have to be thinking about things like keeping a beat or what kind of note gets one beat, and that's a good thing. Music teachers talk about the beat because they're trying to simplify things for you. But the reality is that music has different kinds of beats, and it's the layering of those different beats that makes music fun to move to. Saying the beat as if it's one thing you should be paying attention to doesn't make things easier, it just delays your progress. So what kind of beats am I talking about? Listen and I'll show you what I mean. When you hear the beginning of Lightly Row, there are two kinds of beats you can move to, big beats and little beats. Let's start by feeling the big beat. I'm going to make little circular movements with my hand like this. Ba, 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 ba. Keep that motion going while I play the song. Now let's find the little beat. While this hand continues to feel the big beat, ba, 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 use your other hand like this. Ba, 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 and continue moving while I play the song. You might notice that there are 4 big beats or macro beats per rhythm pattern. You might also notice that there are 2 little beats or micro beats per macro beat. These are features of a whole lot of music. Check it with music that you hear anywhere. First, move with flow, then feel how your body moves to feel macro beats layered with micro beats. See if you can notice what kind of rhythm patterns are layered on top of that structure. Don't try to learn this skill from a musical score. This is your own personal understanding of music, which you can develop so later you can bring that understanding to the score so that it will make sense. Understanding this layering of flow, macro beats, micro beats, and rhythm patterns is the kind of focus you can bring to your playing that will help you sound great instead of squinting at the music, struggling to get through it. To cap this off, here's how to create for yourself a simple rhythm pattern that you can use when you improvise. First, include all 4 macro beats, ba, 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 ba. Second, include any of the micro beats, ba, 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 or ba, 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 ba. Third, don't think about this a lot with your logical brain. Keep moving and stay in your flow state. Let's practice. I'll chant some rhythm patterns. You echo. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Practice this same kind of back and forth with family, friends, or enemies, using those same patterns and also making up your own according to those guidelines I gave you. Last, bring those patterns to the piano. Use all of the approaches from the last video I did on rhythm, and you can bring the patterns to whatever piece you're working on. Here's what Lightly Row sounds like with new rhythm patterns. Have fun with this and leave me a note in the comments with your improvisations. Click the link to my website in the description for ways to go deeper. Have fun!